top of the class on the road, hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know.
Welcome to Drinks with the Don. I'm your host, the one and only, Don. Today's episode is going to be amazing, y'all. It's one of my passions, of course, real estate. I love it. Before I get to those guests, I have to acknowledge and introduce our master mixologist for this evening, Miss Jess. Miss Jess, how you feeling back there?
I'm feeling good.
Talk to me a little bit about Jess. What's going on?
Nothing. I'm gonna be making some drinks for you guys tonight.
Okay.
We're gonna do the tequila sour. Let's shout out it's black-owned business.
Diddy.
DeLeon.
That's my
So
stepdaddy.
We're gonna get into
Okay. You said what we're making a tequila sunrise?
it. Tequila sour.
Tequila sour. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I apologize.
Yeah.
Go ahead and let the my viewers know too, Jess. What's your IG? All
Yes,
that good
they can
social
follow
media?
me
Fuck your shit.
at the number 7 Jessica Sally SALLY. Yes.
Okay, y'all make sure y'all go and follow them. So I'd like to introduce some amazing guests that I have today. Amazing in their careers, but amazing as people. One of them I consider my agent and my friend, Miss Nicole.
Hey.
Got in the building. And also joining her is Miss Dedra. So how y'all ladies feeling tonight?
Awesome.
Awesome.
Glad to be here.
I know. I'm
Excited.
so glad y'all made it here. Like, this is going to
Yes.
be dope. This is going to be a dope episode. Like, I appreciate y'all joining me.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Okay, let's just jump right into it. I think the viewers want to know a little bit about you guys, like a little background history and also how y'all got involved with real estate to begin with.
Okay. You want me to go first, Steve? Yeah. All right. So I was in banking and finance about 30 years before I decided to get my real estate license, and it just made sense. A numbers person. I love people, and I decided that this would give me the opportunity to build generational wealth for my daughter. I believe that real estate is the wisest investment that you can make because they're not making any more land, right? So it just made sense for me to dive into real estate. It's a lucrative field, so there was no cap on how much money I could make. And for those reasons alone, giving me the flexibility that I needed, it just made sense. And I'm glad I made the decision, never looking back. So it's been awesome.
I'm glad you did too. You saved me a couple times.
Yeah.
She saved my life in this real estate game.
Thank you, friend.
No problem. How about you, Dee?
Nice. I'm Dedra. I've been in real estate for since 2014. And I got into real estate because I kept getting fired on all my other jobs, like
Talk about
100. So, I don't know any other thing, but
I can relate too well.
sometimes when you're excused from other positions, you fumble in on what you actually supposed to do, and it is a passion. I absolutely love what I do. I get to see people have dreams come true, things they've been saving for all of their lives, and I know it sounds a little cliche, but at the end of the day, I'm rewarded. So I go to work, I wake up in the morning thinking about my day. So otherwise, glad to be here. Been in the business for a while. Millions of dollars. I like the way that sounds, and I keep going.
Meal ticket.
Hey. It's a new day, and I'm ready to help other people explore opportunities. We want to talk about ROI. I'm big on making sure you understand what's the next step and not just getting a home because it looks good. Let's talk about value and building generational wealth.
That's definitely right. So let's talk about first-time home buyers, like that process. Can y'all walk us through that?
Ooh, first-time home buyers. Don't be afraid, right? A lot of times, there's the jitters that they get because a home is a major investment and they're a little bit concerned about what do I do, where do I go? So the biggest piece of advice that I can give a first-time home buyer is to complete the application process so we can find out where are you, how much of a house can you afford? So once we receive the opportunity to work with an individual or even a business is thinking about acquiring real estate, we connect them with a lender, and that lender is going to give us the green light, whether we can move forward and find out how much of a house or a property they can afford. Once we get through that process, D, what's next?
Finding the house. So I would add for first-time home buyers to really be diligent about doing your homework. You definitely want to dive in, find out what's happening in the market, or don't get the information from your sister, grandmama, cousin, uncle. Okay. So, and I say that because when people come to me, they're a little nervous. They have heard all these horror stories. Your story is individual. I've never had a transaction the exact same. Some have been similar as the fundamentals, but technically it's all over the place, you know, sometimes. So I encourage you to speak to an agent and ask what is the process. And if the agent is not willing to walk you through that process and basically hold your hand, then you're with the wrong agent.
No, that's facts.
I like what you said, and that is so true, because it's like a lot of times we think that our parents or our siblings know more than the agent, right? And it's like, stay in your lane, I'm gonna stay in mine, and I'm gonna help you get this house. But a lot of times when you're relying on somebody who doesn't have the experience to guide you through the process, that's the biggest mistake you can make.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
And I definitely urge people to. I wish I would have jumped into real estate game super early, like right out of high school. Like, early.
Right
it
when the crash was.
life.
No, remember? Imagine if you bought the house.
Oh my God!
The crash was.
What?
You be sitting pretty right about now.
And I urge anybody, like, don't think about it. Like, jump out there. Like, whether you live in that house as your primary residence or not, as best property, get you some real estate. Like you said earlier, they're not making it anymore, and it's always an asset. I mean, I love cars and all that stuff too, but it's not an asset.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Depreciate like hell.
As soon as you drive it off the lot, it depreciates.
Yep.
It's over with. Yeah.
Over with. And it's crazy. We're talking about investors. So let's talk about on the investor end, and that's what I appreciate. I'm an investor,
yes,
so,
I know.
You know. And so let's just start off like with something simple like wholesaling. You know, I know a lot of people jumping into that now.
You know, are you a fan of wholesaling?
Wholesaling to me is just like some middleman stuff.
That's
like
exactly what it is.
Cut into the plate. Like,
that's exactly what it is.
But I'm not hating because I
Yeah.
like the old school wholesaling where they might make, $2,000, $5,000, $6,000. But now these cats making 20, 30, 40 grand
Exactly.
off the property.
That's exactly right.
And so I feel like that's what's part of inflating the market. So I don't know. What are y'all thoughts on that?
I agree. I mean, a wholesaler is a person that typically tries to get that property under contract. Once they get it under contract, then they need a buyer, because their plans are not to purchase the property. The only thing they want to do is to get it under contract and then find a person that can purchase the property for them, and then they increase the price so that they can make a profit. So it cuts out some of the equity in the home, and the owner that's buying it doesn't have the same flexibility that they would if the wholesaler didn't purchase it initially.
Not to buddy in, but Diddy called. He said, "Go ahead." And,
that's yours.
It's different.
Okay,
Right. It's a special one, y'all.
Yeah, Diddy said, "Go
got
ahead
it?
and pass the deal."
There you go.
Okay,
all right.
Diddy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Whatever you say. Well, Diddy said whatever you say.
Yeah.
Cheers.
the bag.
Drinks with the Don.
Yeah.
Yes,
In
and
the
they're good.
bag.
Oh, they're
We in
really
the bag.
good.
Thank you.
Really good.
Okay.
That is
It's a
very
vibe.
good.
It's a
That's
vibe.
very good.
Okay, Jess. Okay, Jess.
Good,
Okay,
I like
okay,
it.
girl.
Oh, yeah, that's really good.
So we talked about wholesaling, you guys. Let's also delve into fixing flips and buying holes. Like, let's talk about that a little bit.
I love them.
So which one do y'all prefer? Or does it just
It
every
doesn't
situation
matter
different?
as
think it
long as
depends.
you are making that leap and you're making an investment and you're creating wealth and you're making a return on your investment. I don't care what side of the coin, as long as I'm on the closing end of the table. So have at it.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
It's all about the person or the investor.
Right.
What are your goals? What are you seeking to accomplish? If you want the money quickly, then a short-term investment would be better for you, a fix and flip.
Versus the
So
long-term.
exactly, you buy that distressed property like yourself, you fix it, you flip it, and then you get your money. Long-term, of course, they're holding on to it. So what's going to be most important for them is the return on the investment,
Right.
the cap rate. Does all of that make sense? At the end of the day, is the income they're receiving on a monthly basis enough to offset the expenses? Are they getting the return that they're looking for? So it really depends on the person that's acquiring the property if the long-term investment or short-term is better suited for them.
Okay. I mean, they're giving y'all definitely drinks with the Don. We're giving y'all game right now. Like,
For sure.
These are two
Yeah.
of the best, and they
Yes.
are giving you everything you need to know.
So the new word is not bags, but doors.
Okay. Talk more about it. Let's hear that.
How many
Explain
doors you
that.
have? You know, I think Jess, when she came in, we were talking about property, and one of the things I pointed out to her that it's always important that even though it may not be the prettiest or aesthetically what you're looking for, make the investment, because a few years from now, that property can become your first portfolio, your first, property, and you're investing, and now you're going to find another property. You have more income, creating more avenues for income. So don't ever look at, oh, this is horrible. Pour some love and sweat and equity into your home. Some people forget that part. There are loans out here. I don't even know if you know, but let me help you out. The FHA has a loan, and so does conventional, but it's called a 203K. And what it does, it allows you to buy a primary residence that is not in great condition. It can be inhabitable or habitable, and you can put $30,000. And I had one person put $150,000, and they give you that money to do the rehab on the house, right? So you sit on this property for a little while, and then after time moves on, you find that person you love, you want to go get married or whatever the case is, you pass it down to your children. That is a great opportunity. If you don't have the capital, is try some of the other renovation loans.
Right. And I urge anybody to don't be afraid of like smaller cities. That's why that's why I get off at like them smaller cities. Like a lot of my residual properties and like light flips and stuff. Like you go down there and catch a house for like under $50,000. I mean, trust me, like you cannot lose.
So I have a question. Like, please tell me about like the tax lien properties that you see.
Okay. That's a good question.
Because sometimes they say you can buy those for a little of nothing. I had an Uber driver tell me he literally bought like 4 houses for $1 or something. Yeah. So people.
They buy them all the time. You purchase them actually on the steps of the courthouse. You find out when they have those days where they're actually auctioning off the properties, and then you go with your checkbook ready to acquire those properties. You have to pay cash for them, though. You're not able to finance them. That's something that people don't understand.
So it's a real thing. Like you can get a house for like $1,000.
Absolutely. All the time.
I had a client recently went to Macon and bought
Mactown, shout out.
Yep. She bought 2 properties and she got it for $7,500 now.
Oh wow.
They are needing some work,
obviously.
But hey, Mercer University is there. You sit on this property for a couple of years, you triple. I don't know how many times in a row you can make an investment.
Let me ask y'all this with the tax liens. Don't you have to sit on it for like a year?
You do.
The person that actually owns it has a chance to come back.
They have to come back.
Exactly.
They can get the money. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they can come back at any time and take it. And then you just want to make sure that, you've done your due diligence on those properties so you don't.
So do you guys assist people with those processes?
Absolutely.
Or not really?
We're real estate agents.
These are real licensed real estate agents. Y'all thought we were just playing? This ain't no game.
No, I got a license to kill. That's all. I'm the most important thing. When I walk in the room, I know I'm the most important person in the room. Unless it's another agent in there. And the reason why is because real estate is everywhere in the world, Craig, in the world. There is not one person that does not, any of the multimillionaires, billionaires, they own property. You can't go wrong with that investment. So it's just smart.
Let me finish giving that game I was trying to give a little earlier to people. Like my formula with like my properties and stuff, like residual properties, I find a house under 50 to 30,000. And with that, your mortgage is going to be nowhere like $200 to $400, maybe $500 at the most. Your credit fucked up. You know what I mean? And where you staying at under 800 to 1,000 right now? So
nowhere.
You already are in the positive, like, you know what I mean? Like cash flow positive. And so that's the game I want to give the people who are scared to jump out there. I was scared too at one point, but trust me, it's not as difficult as you think it is. Like, I encourage that.
I agree. Good. I mean, like you said, you go to some of the smaller towns, get you a couple of properties that are less expensive, and that's where you start. If that's the price point that you want to be at. But to your point, investment real estate, man, I love it. Yeah. I love it. Yes, you can't go wrong.
All right. Well, let me swap, change gears a little bit, y'all. Let's play a game.
Okay.
Got to pick one or the other.
Okay.
You ready, Jess?
I'm ready.
Let's see.
All right.
I'm a little nervous.
I'm scared.
I'm nervous. Just pick one or the other.
Okay, let's go. Let's do it.
Chris Brown or Usher?
Chris Brown.
Usher.
Okay.
Chris Brown.
I'm going to go with Usher.
Wow, okay.
Buy, hold, quick flip.
Buy and hold.
Quick flip.
Oh, different.
Buy, hold. I would buy and hold.
Okay. I'm a quick flip. Jagged Edge, 112.
Jagged Edge. Wingo, what up, boy?
We know what Dedra stand on the issue.
I like both, but I'm on 112.
Oh,
yeah, 112.
I'm really good friends with Wingo, so it'd be blasphemy if I said anything different.
I'm going to go with Jagged Edge, y'all.
Wow.
We're going to go real estate or stocks?
Real estate.
Okay, you know I say real estate. Stiletto heels or block heels? I just learned about this today, y'all, when I do my research.
Block.
Yeah.
It depends on what we're doing. Is it late night?
I asked
Is
you
it
all
after
that. I just
hours?
asked for one of the
Is
other.
it demon
You
time?
can't change the game.
Right.
One of the other. One of the other. Is it demon time? How long did it? Demon time?
I mean, you gotta make it real clear. God. Okay, so because stilettos really hurt after a while, so I'm gonna go with block.
Yes. I'm gonna go with block just for the same reasons.
Okay.
You get a little older, you can't wear those heels like you used
stilettos.
to.
They're good for sitting down. I look good in my stilettos sitting down.
Yeah.
Well, you know, y'all gotta worry about me answering that question. That's for the ladies.
There you go. But no, what do you like to see?
Yeah, what do you like to see?
Well, I didn't know what a block heel was until I researched. So I'll probably say stilettos.
You like
I mean,
stilettos?
that's more sexy, I think.
Yes.
Yeah,
what
it
most
is.
people say.
Yeah.
It's some 5 block heels out here now.
I mean, y'all
Don't
gotta show
sleep.
me. I don't know.
I gotta
I
show
just
you.
Googled it. So
I don't
Okay.
know a man that would pick a block heel
Yeah,
over a stiletto.
Stiletto has been sold to them for years.
Yeah.
This is true.
Right.
That's true.
Since the
Right,
70s.
right.
So
All right, last one, y'all. Hard money or personal cash?
Hard money.
What do you mean by hard money?
hard money.
And the reason
Educate us. Everybody
Yeah.
don't know. What is
So hard money is when you're partnering with a lender that's actually giving you the funds to purchase a property. You're not using your own cash.
Hard money.
Cash is king, right? So you want to hold on to your cash
hard
as much
money.
as you can. I recommend if you're in a position and you can partner with a hard money lender
For
for
sure.
your property, your fix and
Yes.
flip, your distressed property every day, all day long.
Right.
Hard money over liquidating your cash anytime.
I've learned to
Anytime.
use other people's money.
Yeah.
So.
And,
Other
in
people's money.
layman's term, hard money is just like a payday loan.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They're gonna charge you a higher
Borrow your type of
rate,
shit.
you know.
Just don't borrow
But-
more
but
than
the-
you can afford. To
That's
pay
But they
exactly
don't
right.
do none of that extra banks,
No.
like all that extra stuff you normally have to do for conventional
Yeah.
funding. You don't have to do none of that.
Yeah.
It's easier to qualify for
Yeah.
hard money. You're going to keep it for a short period of time. So it's great for purchasing a property that needs work.
Yes.
Excuse me, you flip it, you take about 3 to 4 months to flip the property, you turn around and sell it, you pay the hard money lender back you out.
Yeah.
It's not great for like a long-term.
Investment.
Investment.
Not at all.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And all right, let's jump into this. Dude, you kind of spoke of it a little bit before we took this little break. Let's talk about creative ways to get funding and other types of funding.
So it just depends on the situation. There are so many different types of programs out there, for example, for your entrepreneurs who are not paid the traditional route. And, you know, let's just keep it real. A lot of times we don't want to give Uncle Sam all of our money. So we're trying to find a creative way that we can purchase real estate. There are bank statement loans. There are stated income loans. As long as you have 20 to 30% that you can inject for your down payment, then you can go that route and you don't have to worry about divulging your tax returns.
Correct.
Okay.
And also with the 203K, they have a conventional loan also that lets you do a renovation. Traditionally, that's where most people go, those two routes. I just say, you know, there are some programs out there called the Shinoa, some down payment assistance programs for the first time home buyers. Just so you know, if you don't have, you know, money saved, then you want to, you know, look into some of those programs. Even we did have Dream America that was really big back in the day, and I think they still have it, but it's a long process. There's NACA, there's another program out there that is a longer process as well. But if you want instant gratification, you may want to speak to a lender that offer the down payment assistance programs. They usually want you to be at a 640 and above. Don't, you know, hold me exactly to that number. However, that is a good way to not have to come up with that funding and we're moving into a different type of market. So you may even get some assistance with closing. But, you know, having those hard conversations, and let me say this for the record. A lot of times people don't know this, but there are no no's. Maybe not right now.
Yes.
Have a game plan.
You gotta
Most
manifest that.
people buy homes 6 months prior to actually going to purchase the property. So it's okay starting at ground zero. I had someone come to me with a 490 credit score. He was adamant about getting in a home. I partnered with the lender that was willing to work with him, tell him all the things that he needs to change. Don't go off buying credit repair unless you speak to a lender and they advise you on what you need to clean up, because sometimes you clean up good stuff. Well, this person was adamant about it. He stayed at it. We got this man closed. He'd been in his property for 2 years. He just called me about 3 months ago and said, hey, listen, I want to give you your flowers because I'm getting my basement renovated.
Wow.
And they had the kitchen renovated. They bought a $450,000 house 2 years ago. That was a lot of money. So
Today,
not today. But at the end of the day, he was able to obtain it. But I didn't shun him because his credit wasn't good. So like
we
Nicole
all
said
go
before,
through that. Like,
right, put your toe in the water.
Yeah.
You never know.
And you know, something else I wanted to mention, like there are grants that are available. A lot of people are not aware there are grants. And now you do have to purchase in a particular area. However, you might receive a $7,500 or $8,000 grant. And so when you can qualify for 100% financing and you can get a grant, your out-of-pocket expenses might be zero.
Oh, wow.
You may actually get money back at the closing table. So let's just say the credit isn't perfect, right? But you really want to get in a home. There are other programs out there. You can do a lease purchase program. There's a company that we work with named Divvy. Divvy buys the property cash. They allow the person to rent the home, a lease purchase, for 36 months. During that time frame, Dedra and I are working with you to put you in a position so that you can buy. We've connected you with a credit repair resource, and Divvy is taking a percentage of what you're paying on a monthly basis and actually placing it into a separate account for you and using that to help you with your down payment if you need one. Now, once we get your credit situated, there are 100% financing options. So if you're getting 100% financing, exactly, and you have down payment assistance, or you have this grant, like I said, you may end up not having to pay anything.
Right. So let me ask y'all this: how have the Fed rates impacted the real estate market? Because I know that's a big thing right now. We got to talk about it.
I tell you, I'm gonna let you fan for a minute, friend. I started the conversation off.
Them Fed rates made you pull the fan out.
I was telling Dedra and I were having this conversation, and I was saying I had 3 clients yesterday that stated they wanted to hold off on purchasing because the rates have increased. So it's real. It's scary. Individuals are really concerned about where the rates are going. And unfortunately, they're not educated enough to understand that even back in 1982, I think rates were 17%. Right. Back to 2002, they were over 7%. So this is not anything new. The rates went down to 2 and 1% simply to stimulate the economy because of COVID. We could not stay there. We can't stay there.
Right.
The economy,
it's gonna bust. You
can't do it. The economy can't withstand at 1 to 2%. So what's more indicative of where we should be is a 6.5% to even a 7% rate, believe it or not. The 3%, they're not realistic. They can't stay there. Right. So I think that once individuals start to educate themselves a little bit more and understand that the increase in the rates is what's necessary in order for us to withstand in the market, I think they'll be okay. But for right now, we are seeing a little bit of a downturn. People are afraid. That's where we come in at, to educate them and make sure exactly they understand it's okay. It's okay.
Look at it like this. If you gonna pay 12% on the vehicle,
okay,
but you won't pay 6%
for a house
that makes you money, you got some real problems.
Because think about it this way. Now, the interest that you're paying, but think about it, right? And I'm sure, Terry, you can attest to this being an investor. The interest that you pay, you're able to turn around and you write it off on your taxes. You file your homestead exemption. It is a true benefit to become a homeowner or even to have investment real estate. And unfortunately, people who don't have the right realtor, they don't understand that.
Okay.
That part.
Okay. Talk y'all shit. I like that.
I believe that, it's definitely, if it's 6% now, would you rather get in now 6, 7, or you want to be 10, 12? So whatever happens in the economy, you can always refinance if anything changes. But one thing's for sure, if you don't, you're definitely buying a house. You're doing it for your landlord.
That's exactly right. And a lot of people is like, I'm scared. I just want to wait. Okay, so you're going to continue to rent. You're going to continue to pay $900 or $1,000. Rental rates are going up.
$2,000 right now.
Yeah, exactly.
For a studio in Atlanta.
For a studio. So you can get, you'd rather live in a studio than have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, or even a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. The difference is it's yours. Nobody can take it from you. Nobody can tell you anything about equity. There you go. What you doing to that property. It's yours. And then when you have children, it creates generational wealth for them. Like there's so many different positives that come from being a real estate investor or a real estate owner versus renting. Yep.
Okay, so why is inventory so low right now, though? Like, what's the problem with that?
The inventory is low.
I just want to know too, y'all. Just want to know.
Well, the reason the onset of inventory being really low was the pandemic. Obviously, people were afraid. They didn't want you to come in their house. And then from them being afraid, we went into a lumber situation when all those forests being burned and jobs, people laying off and not going, getting the stimulus checks or whatever they're doing to just hang out, or PP loans, whatever that is. It created a deficit in houses being built, so new construction. So old people that wanted new construction couldn't get into those properties because we were kind of, slowed down a lot. And then you have other people just afraid to do anything. The economy changing so drastically that started the deficit with homes being available.
And also the homeowners are hesitant about selling their property because prior to the changes we're seeing right now, there was a situation where, of course, there were multiple offers. There was your highest and your best, and they were really concerned about selling their property and not having anywhere to go. That's why now is the best time to buy, because it's not as competitive as it was even 2 months ago, simply because people are hesitant. So for those that are hesitant and that have decided they don't want to buy right now, the other people who are not afraid, it's the prime time. It's the prime time, because like Dedra said, rates are a little bit more aggressive than where you want them to be. You go ahead and buy, and when they go back down, you refinance. And then at that time, because the rates have gone down but the values are still going up, you can now eliminate that private mortgage insurance, which is going to make your payment even lower.
Nice. Good job, Nicole. That's why you rock.
You know what? Well, I want to thank you beautiful ladies for joining me today. I just want y'all to go ahead and give everybody your social media handles or whatever y'all want to drop, business info, whatever y'all want to drop. Let the viewers know.
Well, again, thank you, Terry, for having us. I'm so excited to be here. I am Nicole Thornton, sales manager and realtor for the Cole Realty Group Atlanta. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Your Real Estate Style Pro.
Nice. My name's Dedra Carter, and my IG is Dedra the Premier Agent. And I went viral, just so y'all know.
What was your viral moment? What was your viral moment?
Viral was like 2-point-something mil.
Okay, talk your stuff. Get in your bag, dude.
But I'm also a sales trainer for real estate, and not necessarily the course and the technical of the course itself, but more or less how to connect with people and how to talk to people and allow them in your space, and that you envision them getting to the closing table. There was a big gap there, and we kind of bridged that with Closing the Gap and the other things that we offer at TCRG. So we have taken off. I mean, people, it's groundbreaking. So you guys, if you're thinking about it, let us know. You can hit Nicole up or me. I'm 678-558-6595. I know when the hotline rings. Anyway, y'all leave me alone. I'll go all night. All night.
I want to put the glasses up.
Yeah,
sure.
I want to salute you ladies and wish y'all much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
And I just want to speak life into y'all. I want to wish y'all much success,
Yes.
wealth, happiness, health, love, whatever your heart's desires.
Good.
Y'all are amazing women, and we support you here.
Thank you so much.
Drinks for the Don, y'all. We
Drinks
out.
to the Don.
Drinks to the Don.
Hey, we gonna make sure. Hey, we gonna keep you crispy. We gonna keep you crispy. That's our job. So we want to extend this a little bit. I just don't. I want to pull up too hard.
Let me grab her coffee bottle.
I got you, Caleb. I got you. All right, so.
Welcome to Drinks with the Don. I'm your host, the one and only Don. I want to know a little bit about you guys, like a little background history, and also how y'all got involved.
So I was in banking and finance about 30 years, and it just makes sense. I believe that real estate is the wisest investment that you can make.
I got into real estate because I kept getting fired on all my other jobs. And it is a passion. I absolutely love what I do. And not necessarily the course.
And wish y'all much.
Thank you.
Drinks to the Don, y'all. Yeah. Drinks to the Don. Drinks to the Don.
Here we go, yeah. At the top of the class.